G'day, I'm Luke from Bellwayers and Metal Detectors here in Perth, Western Australia. Today I'm just going to give you a bit of a quick demonstration on the barrier metal detector from Slavovich Technology. We're the Australian distributors for the barrier metal detector, and I'm pretty excited with this bit of equipment and what it's going to provide to the industry. So just for our demonstration today, just got a few bits of ore from general mines around the country. Got some hard rock from quarries and gold mines, copper mines, some iron ore, a bit of coal, mainly our main exports here in Australia, and then some general test pieces that we're going to show you how it reacts on the trends. So these particular bits of hard rock that I've got in front of me are highly mineralized with iron, and the magnets stick to them. So these cause a fair few issues for people. With some metal detectors out there in the field, these kind of rocks will give false trips. Obviously these aren't as magnetic, or not really any there. And then we got the mild steel, and then we got a couple of bits of stainless. So I'll quickly just show you how the trends look when we're putting the pieces through. So obviously got the coal there, nothing showing up. Got the bit of magnetic hard rock, nothing on the trends. Nothing on the trends. Just run through these quickly because all these bits of general ore are invisible to the barrier metal detector, which makes it why it's such a great unit. The iron ore, and then we'll come down to a little grease fitting just to show you that thing's working. So as we put that through, you can actually start to see the deflection. Something that size we don't want to be picking up. Probably the smallest I've seen requested is generally an M20 nut. And as you can see, the M20 nut gives a very good signature on the barrier metal detector, so you can tune it to pick up sizes like that. Generally speaking, I would probably, from experience with other metal detectors, it's usually hard rock mines are looking for smaller bits like that, so that'll work well with your rocks like this. And then this was generally the kind of pieces you're looking for in iron ore, or usually you want to let these pieces go through because it's the downstream equipment won't be affected. So you can see the trends when you're putting these bits through. Obviously a bigger deflection, and then a bigger deflection once again. So you get a really positive result. And then the bits, the bolt, nice and easy, and then the couple of bits of stainless. So see stainless, no worries. So it will pick up all bits on the middle. And one other quick feature I want to quickly show you is one of the downfalls with most metal detectors in the field, even the common ones that you do get a bit of luck with, and it's the coil design. So with this coil, it's what I'd call a transceiver. It's got a transmitter coil and a receiver coil mixed into the one loop. What you'll generally find in most metal detectors, you'll either have the transmitter or the receiver at the bottom, and vice versa at the top. So transmitter at the top, receiver at the bottom. So what that means is the further the bit of metal gets away from the receiver coil, the weaker the signal is. So I'll quickly show you an example of that. So at the bottom here, close to the coil, you're going to get a bigger signal. As you move to the middle, it's going to go down, but as you get to the top, it's going to increase again. So what that basically means is, in your situation, if you got like a 1800 or above belt with a 45-degree trough, you may have a burden depth of anything up to ½ meter. So as these test pieces move further away from the receiver coil, the less effective your metal detector is going to work. But the barrier fixes that because of the loop design. So you are going to pick up more bits of metal and less is going to get through, because if it's sitting on top of the ore, it's still going to be seen by the coil because of the design. So that's one of the big things with this coil design, is you're going to pick up more bits. Now you might think false tripping is a big issue, and this is probably the #1 feature of the barrier. And I'll quickly demonstrate with this little part. So if we introduce something foreign to the metal detector, or a bit of metal, what it does next is probably the coolest part. So we'll introduce this slowly. Now watch what it does. It's going to auto zero out that bit of metal. So it's going to recognize that there's something changed. So that could be running from one ore grade to the next ore grade. So it could be a very, very rich grade. And what it's doing is it's recognizing that that grade has changed, and it's zeroing out the signal so you won't get false trips. So with other metal detectors, when we introduced that bolt, what would happen was the signal levels on the other metal detectors out there in the field, they will stay at that higher level. That with the barrier, it pulls it down. Now what happens when it stays at high level, a bit goes through that you don't want to pick up, and it false trips because it's already raised the threshold to that point that it's going to trip it. With the barrier, it recognizes that something's changed and it automatically calibrates itself out. And when I pull it away, it's going to do the opposite. It's going to then recalibrate itself back to zero. And that's one of the coolest features, and the only metal detector with that feature available in the world. And how easy it is to set up the threshold? Well, you basically just go to the front screen here, and we recognize that this is probably a 100-bit. This is probably like a 800-bit. So if we want to pick up or not see this and pick up this bit, we literally just come here and go 200-bit, 800-bit. We'll set the threshold to 500, and that's calibrated. That's all you need to do. That's how easy this metal detector is to set up. It's leaps and bounds in technology above the rest. And if you do have any questions, feel free to contact us, and I'm more than willing to answer your questions. And if you are in Perth or the Western Australia region, you're more than welcome to come to our warehouse and play with the barrier and get a feel for it. I can't recommend this unit more. It's really good. Thanks.